Yeah, so it should be all ready to go. I wouldn't worry too much about the comments, obviously, because the more you do that, the more the phone's going to tap around. But just, like I said, just make sure it doesn't get bumped around or anything like that.
Should I tell them to wave?
What's up?
Should I tell them to wave?
No, that's people saying wave.
Oh, for sure.
All right, let's begin this. So, hello everyone that can hear me. My name is Amanda Tijerino, and I am the ASI Elections Commissioner.
Yeah, I got it, bro.
Right now, we are having our candidate forum, which is for our ASI elections. So this is a good chance to come out and hear what your future ASI Board of Directors have to say. And this is also another opportunity to ask some questions about campus or any issues you are having. So I want to remind you guys, if you want food, we have Free Panda Express over here. And we also have another candidate forum that is taking place on Wednesday, March 13th from 1 to 2 p.m., the same location. So, with that being said, I would like to introduce our panelists. First, we have Dalen Joseph, who is running for president. Say hey, Dalen. We also have Rahab Schwab, who is running for the vice president of finance. And then we also have Itzel Marin, who is running for the director of student services. And then we have Emiliano Orlando, who is running for Director of Student Services. And last but not least, we have Cindy Romero, who is running for the College of Natural and Behavioral Sciences representative.
Yes, Cindy!
So these are your panelists. Panelists, are you ready?
Yes.
So we will begin with me asking you about your platform. So this is your platform. So you will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to give your platform, talk a little bit about yourself and your experiences, and about ASI. So we'll begin with Cindy, because she is closest to me. So Cindy, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, we will now be starting. 1 minute and 30 seconds, panelists. Go.
Hi, my name is Cindy.
Oh, louder. Is it off? You're Steven. Try again. Steven.
It's on, but it's
Oh, you speak a little louder?
hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Hi, my name is Cindy Romero. I'm running for College of Natural and Behavioral Science representative. A little bit about myself. I'm currently a psychology major. This is my second year. I'm also in the History Club. I'm in Women's Success Alliance. And so, as of now, I decided that I wanted to do a greater impact with my CSU family. So, in order to accomplish that, I decided to run as representative. And what I will do is, I plan to create a bond or a stronger connection between our student body and our deans, whether it's for our college or our ASI president or our president of CSUDH. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Rahab, you're up.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Rahab Shoaib. I'm running for Vice President of Finance. So, thank you. So I currently serve on the board, and in my role, I allocate funds to different campus-wide events, which is why I decided that I would try and go for Vice President of Finance. I want to make sure that the ASI budget represents all student needs and that clubs and organizations are able to get the funding that they need, as well as all students are able to benefit from, the fee that they give Cal State Dominguez Hills. So I am a junior studying business marketing, and I'm also Vice President of the Women's Success Alliance. So I'm very involved in Dominguez Hills, and I feel like student life is basically where the university experience starts. So that's why I'm running for this board.
It's Sen.
So hi everyone, my name is Itzel Marin. I'm a graphic design major. I'm minoring in studio art and women's studies. I currently serve on the board as a college rep for the arts and humanities, where I got to work closely with many departments, especially with Title IX, where we got to implement the preferred name policy pronouns policy, and that's what motivated me to run for student services. I work closely with the resource centers on campus, and I'm very involved on campus. I'm a student worker, so I've been an orientation leader, campus tour guide, graphic designer for almost 3 years. I'm involved with the DH Arts Collective. I'm the vice president and also the president and founder of the Women's Success Alliance. So in my role as Director of Student Services, I do want to, continue advocating for create more opportunities, internships through the resource centers and other departments on campus, and as well create more events, cross-cultural events where we bring different cultures together. And just simply because I believe that with a good student experience, your college career will be great overall. Thank you.
Woo! Dalen.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dalen Joseph, and I'm running for president. I'm a third year here. I'm a public relations and advertising major. I currently serve on the board as the vice president of academic affairs. In my role, I have gotten security cameras in housing. I have advocated amongst faculty and administration for students, and I have also put on numerous amount of events for students. In my role as president, I really just want to continue to provide as many resources for our students. I think that the more resources we students have, we're going to be a lot more successful in college, and the end goal of college is to graduate, and I want to make that as easy as possible for students. I'll end with the fact that ASI hasn't had a female president in 10 years, and it's really just it's time to really just change that stigma and get some new blood on the board. Thank you.
Emiliano.
Okay, hi, my name is Emiliano Arellano. I'm a freshman actually. I'm studying public policy, and as Director of Student Services, I would want to have all students to have fun and actually have fun in their education and learn what they want to learn. Because now, if you want to be a kinesiology major, you should get a full-time gym here at CSU Dominguez. Because right now, we have 3 hours only for the public to go to, that students could go to. And right now, I think, even now, I was, in high school, I was chairman of school site council, and I thought that we could do so much more and bring the school much better if the students have fun and they also enjoy coming to school and actually get the good education that they can. And I'll leave you with that. Thank you.
Okay, candidates. So now we are going to get into the questions. You will be able to openly answer within 1 minute time limit. And I will be asking one question at a time. So Emiliano, I will start asking the first question with you, and we will go from there. Okay, candidates, your first question. If you need me to repeat the question, I will be more than happy to do so. So your first question is, how will you keep ASI transparent to the students?
How I would make everyone transparent is that we're all different. And we all know we're different. We all have different wants and different needs. But we all here for the same reason, education. And we should all put education first. Especially as Director of Student Services, I would say that whichever we serve, however you want to do clubs, activities here, or even just go to class, we all have to do it and have it successfully. So I would say, just to make the school more interesting and by having more activities here, that people want to come to the school, not just come and leave. And that's all. Thank you.
Dalen?
So keeping ASI transparent has been something that has been on my mind since I started ASI in 2017. One of the ways that I have worked on keeping ASI transparent is really just having open and honest dialogue about whatever's going on with ASI. Make sure that my friends know if we're going through a budget process, through an elections process, through if we're just having any sort of events. One of the biggest things that I really just exercise is open and honest dialogue about this organization.
It's said.
So keeping ASI transparent, one of the things that I do is I do have honest communication. So I do also do a lot of classroom presentations where, I mostly when there's events going on or something that we do want students to get involved in, we do present on those during classrooms. Also within my clubs and orgs, I do I do keep them up to date, different resources, different things that are going on with ASI. And we also do motivate the students to come to our commissions and different meetings where they could get once we discuss certain things, they're there to discuss and also to be part of the conversation during the forums. Thank you.
Rahab?
So I think being transparent is very important because, when I first came to Dominguez Hills, I didn't really know what ASI did until, I started coming more and more into the office. And I think that the way that we can do that is through our commissions. I feel like it's a great way, especially organization commission. So we have over 110 organizations on campus, and I feel like keeping them informed is a great way in letting them know what's going on in ASI, and also they're able to spread that information with the members inside of their organization as well. So definitely Orgs Commission, word of mouth helps as well, just talking to your friends, and classroom presentations, tabling, community outreach, the whole nine.
All right, and Cindy.
So as other candidates have said, communication is mostly heard among them. And I believe that in order for ASI to be transparent, there has to be a greater communication method. And so I would probably, no, I will be more available and make sure that ASI is available to you all so you guys can come in, and I will make sure we have a welcoming environment where you guys all feel trustworthy, where you guys feel like you guys can talk and speak about your problems. Thank you.
All right, so we will be moving down to our next question, and this time I would like to start with Dalen. Okay, so candidates, our next question: what experiences / qualifications do you have that benefit the position?
So I've been, like I said, I've been in ASI for 2 years, hopefully going on to 3. So I know a lot about this organization. I started off as the elections commissioner, like Amanda here, so I know our elections process in and out. I moved up to vice president of academic affairs, where now I'm just working very close with our faculty and administration. I work with our university president a lot, so I have just great relationships on this campus amongst our administration and faculty. Within my role this year, I focus a lot on student complaints and taking in student concerns. And so I have a lot of experience in helping students out, and also just going through filing processes with our administration. Yeah.
All right, it's set.
The experience I have is I have experience as a student worker, as a student, and also student advocate. As a student leader on campus, you know, I'm the president and founder of the Women's Success Alliance, and also part of the Arts Collective. You know, I know how it feels to, you know, certain things about the student, the things you go to, your experiences, and I'm also, for my role, I work closely with the resource center, so I do have that personal relationship with the coordinators. With many of my clubs and orgs, we do host different events and workshops with already these resource centers, so I already do have that connection with them, so which means that, you know, my role, it will be easier to host different things, have that communication going on. And you know, like us also, as a previous orientation leader and campus tour guide, I'm very familiar with the different services and the different resource centers that we have on campus, so I do have that knowledge of our campus. Thank you.
Rahab.
So, like I said, I'm currently student activities commissioner. So, in that role, I am funding events, and I do have to decide, you know, how the budget can be spent, the $9,000 that we have towards different events, and making sure that they go to events that are open to all, you know, students on campus, and as well as just interacting with clubs and organizations. There are a lot of students in clubs and orgs, you know, who are always looking for money in ASI and trying to see different ways that they can get it. And I feel like sitting in Orgs Commission and student activities, it's given me a lot of experience in knowing how those funds can be allocated. As well as sitting into finance, I've gotten, you know, more insight into, you know, how budget dollars are being spent, and, you know, why it's spent a certain way. So I feel like that has given me a lot of experience on the financial side. And also, I do work in the Visitors Information Center, so I do have a lot of knowledge about campus resources. I was giving campus tours earlier today, so I do have that one-on-one connection with students and telling them about the university. So I feel like I'm very qualified for this position.
All right, Cindy.
So to begin with, I'm a very determined person. Whatever I start, I always want to finish it. And as I said before, I want to make sure that there is a strong bond and communication between students and staff around campus. And determination, that's one. I'm also a social person, so I can talk to you even if I don't know you. and I can make a conversation. Like, if you just need to talk, I'll be there. If you have problems with professors, if you have problems with classes, you can come in to me and talk to me. If there's other issues going on that you feel that needs to be addressed, you can always come in. Like, you can still do that now with the current people that are in there, students that are in there. I know how to ask for help. That's one of my biggest things, because I feel if you don't ask for help, you won't get the help that you need. So you guys can come in and ask for help, and I will get you that help. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, you guys. Okay, we are now moving down to our third. Emiliano.
Okay, my qualifications are, well, I am a freshman, yes. But honestly, I've been at the school longer than I've been alive. My dad, he graduated here. He's an alumni, so he taught me what is the school and how to love the school. And also, I've also been in school site council chairman, which gave help to the people that were in need and to people like foster youth and to the low income. While as well, I was also a founder, like in my high school, like of my very own club to bring awareness to like big issues around in our neighborhood, like poverty, homelessness, well, and people not getting food every day to eat, and like environmental issues as well. And like with that, I believe like as students, we're all diverse. We're all upper class, middle class, lower class, or if you don't even associate with a class, we're all here. And like I think that being myself, like I understand like a different view of everyone, because we're all here to get an education, like I always said. Thank you.
Okay, candidates, we have our third question. So our third question is, what are some issues here on campus that you are hoping to address? And we'll begin with Itzel.
One of the few issues that I'd like to address would be like the need for a meal plan. I feel like we should, with housing, we should have a meal plan for them to be easier for food access and the affordability of food. Another one would be more representation on campus, either it's cultural, sexual identity, gender identity, more workshops for awareness, more events. And cross-cultural, so we don't specifically host events for a specific group, but we could host different events together to bring many people together to celebrate either their identity or their culture. Thank you.
So I would say one of the issues that I'm seeing on campus is the lack of like healthy food options. Food insecurity is definitely a big issue that we've been talking about a lot, and just making sure that people have access to healthy food or just access to food in general is very important. I feel like again also is the funding aspect is just making sure that student organizations can get the funding that they need, but also in a way that is representative of our entire population as well. 15,000 students on campus, and not just the 110 organizations, but making sure that their voices are heard, and also just being more involved, trying to get students more engaged in different events that are going on campus, and also just wanting them to care about like why these things like matter, and making sure that they know that ASI is here for them, and that we do have resources to help.
Okay, Cindy, you're next.
So one of the biggest issues that I've seen so far is that among freshmen, it's hard for them to reach out because they're new around the school and they may be shy or they're uncomfortable. And so I would like for professors to be more open to students, more active, be there for them, and like let them know, oh, I'm here for you, come talk to me, I have my office hours. And another issue is that sometimes professors aren't they aren't as professional as they should be, and some students do feel uncomfortable when professors share their like phone numbers and stuff. And also some professors aren't approachable, so they should be approachable. They should be the ones that are in charge of our education. They should be there to help us out. And Another one is that sometimes our buildings have issues with like electronics and maybe like ceilings are falling apart. So I plan to address all that inside like our meetings, our ASI meetings, our meetings with our board of directors. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, Rahab, you will be answering the next question. So the next question is, what role do you think ASI plays with the university?
Yeah.
Sorry, Emiliano.
Okay. What was the question again?
Okay, so this question is, what are some issues here on campus that you are planning to address?
Okay, like what Itzel said, how like the housing is really bad. Like I even spoke to Hawk. Like Hawk is in charge of the food networking to give food from on Fridays to like Panda, to Uncle Bell, to the apartments because they don't have enough food security. Because when on the weekends this place closes and they have nowhere else to eat unless they want to go eat out like at Olive Garden or at Norm's, which is highly expensive, or buy food at the nearest Walmart, which is up-priced food. And another thing as well, like I also think that we should also like have something that we could all share, like a gym. Like I wanted to go to the gym all last semester and I couldn't because it was only 3 hours and the rest was reserved time for sports. I do believe sports should have a good time, but we should also have like another gym for us students that we could go to, because most Cal States have a gym that everyone goes to and exercises with. And I think that's one of the biggest things around here. And also another one, I get here around at 6:30 in the morning, here every day to school. I know it's pretty early because my parents drop me off. And like I talk to like some other people before they get here, like at 6 o'clock, 5:30, they're just waiting outside LSU so that they could go in. And like with that, they're like just waiting in the cold because they have nowhere else to go this early in the morning because their parents either kick them out or they have to leave the house at that time to get here so they won't be late to their classes. And I think that's one of the biggest things right now is getting here, going somewhere warm like LSU, and not wait at all for like an hour just so they can open. Thank you.
Okay. Pass it down to Rahab. Oh, you still haven't answered. Okay. Dalen.
Okay, so what was the question? Sorry.
So the question is, what are some issues here on campus that you are planning to address?
So one of the biggest ones being lack of advisors inside of all the colleges. I know CVAP has one of the biggest issues since they are the biggest college that our campus serves, with only 3 advisors in that college. I would also like to increase parking for students, give more parking spaces for students without increasing our actual parking fee, because it has gone up a ridiculous amount within like 3 years. I would also like to start focusing on Dominguez Hills retention rates. Dominguez Hills has the lowest retention rates in the CSU system, and I really don't believe, I know that our school is focusing on it, but I really don't believe we're spending enough time to figure out what is going on and how are we going to retain our students. Also increasing our African American enrollment inside of this university. It has gone from 34% to about 13% now as of this year, and it just keeps on dropping and dropping and dropping. And so these are some problems that I would like to address.
Okay. Rahab. So the question is, the next question, what role do you think ASI plays within the university?
I think ASI's role within the university is to be advocates for the students here on campus, to be leaders for the students here on campus, and also to inform, our directors and deans and everything else of what's going on and what the students need, what the students want, ways they can support ASI, and just being that voice for students where maybe some students aren't able to get in those doors, where they can meet with deans or they can meet with their directors of certain departments. They can't meet with the president. So I think it's our job to talk to those students to see what they need and relay that message over to our higher ups.
Cindy will be answering the next question.
So I know I've heard it before. I just can't quote the person, but it says by the students, for the students. And I think that's what ASI is, Associated Student Incorporation. It's us, students, and we're representing you. We're your leaders. You have to come to us, and we'll make sure that all your problems, everything is resolved, and we're here for you. Yeah, thank you.
Emiliano.
May you repeat the question?
Okay, the question is, what role do you think ASI plays within the university?
ASI plays a big part, honestly. Like, if we didn't have Taco Tuesdays, if it wasn't for ASI, it wouldn't be all these fun activities that we do right now if it wasn't for ASI. Because ASI brings so much fun stuff. If it wasn't for them, this would just be go to school and go back home. That's all it would be. Maybe hang out just to eat your sandwich with your friends. But honestly, ASI, they teach you how how to like be here and like be an advocate for them. Like how we brought Spring Fling and we brought 2 Chainz last year. It was because of ASI, and we should be thankful for them. And like since we get chosen by you guys, the people, the students, so we get to be whatever you want. We're your representative, and whatever you guys decide, basically we will do for you because you're the students, and we believe that the students have rights and we should advocate for them. Thank you.
David, can you repeat the question? The question is, what role do you think ASI plays within the university?
So ASI is the official student voice just for everything within meetings. We're this official student voice, and so when there is no ASI representative in that meeting, that means that there's no student in that meeting. There are administrators and faculty who are pretty much guessing what the students want and just kind of making up ideas about what the students want when ASI isn't involved in those meetings. So we pretty much play the official student voice for everybody.
It's said.
So ASI is the bridge that connects the university to the students. So whenever there's student issues or any concerns that the students bring, we take it to the university. We are that connection. And the whole purpose of ASI is to be the student voice. So if there's anything that's concerning you or anything you're worrying about or anything that you just want to see on campus, we make sure to bring it to light, and we make sure to bring it to administrators, professors, and everything to make sure that your student experience is like the best experience you could get. And we're basically the student voice for you all. Thank you.
Okay, with all those questions, I am now opening up to the audience. Audience members, if you have questions, raise your hand, and Stephen will give you a paper to write a question on. Or you can ask it right here, right now.
Hi, I have a question for all of you guys. Nice to meet you guys. I've introduced myself to some of you, the ones that don't know me. My name is Selena Valadas, and I'm the current Executive Vice President for ASI. So I'm going to start on this side, and then I'm going to go down. So, Emiliano? Hi, nice to meet you. So, you mentioned that you're a freshman, which is pretty new. What is your current knowledge about ASI?
What was that? Repeat the question.
What is your current knowledge about ASI?
My current knowledge is that this is the core foundation of the school, because no matter
ways?
What was that?
In what ways?
It's because like everywhere you go, you see someone helping you out. Oh, here printing ASI, or if you need a free Scantron, they'll be there to give it to you.
When did we get free printing?
I said printing, not. I said free Scantrons, not.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. But I said, like I said, like we always are here, and like ASI brings so much, and it's the core of our foundation of the school. If ASI wasn't here, actually repeat the question again.
Just want to know your general knowledge about ASI.
Like I also think like it's just like the core of the school, because no matter what, you always see someone wearing an ASI shirt working here, representing this group.
Do you know how many board members we have?
I'm not too sure actually.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I had a couple more questions. You mentioned that we do fun stuff, and we do. You mentioned that Taco Tuesday is brought by ASI. It's not. It's by Campus Dining. Yeah, that's a different entity.
Okay.
I also just wanted to ask, what is your current knowledge about DSS and the duties that they have to fulfill?
DSS is the dining, correct?
No, DSS is Director of Student Services. Sorry, that's my fault.
I don't know, but at the end of I'll get back to you by the end of the.
So you're running for a position that you don't know what they're in charge of?
Yes.
All right. What would be some of the services that you would want to provide for your students?
I want to provide like the most way, like to gain like students to actually have like interest in the school. Like I'll actually like bring activities and like have like more field trips that we could go to. Like how you, if I'm right, ASI brought like the Disneyland field trip. No.
No, that wasn't us. That was LSU.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think you lack knowledge of ASI overall and also Director of Student Services. What Director of Student Services actually does is gather knowledge for ASI, so we do surveys, things that we want to see. Like myself as a student, I want to see a Lioness Resource Center. I'm a first generation student, and that's one of the things, a lot of our students, 64% of our campus is made of Latinx students. And I think it's very important that all these students get the resources that they need, especially because they're first generation. The only reason that I was able to know, how to get into college and all this stuff is because I was in the program of AVID. If I wasn't in that in high school, I wouldn't have known. And then getting into college, that's a whole different issue. We don't have parents or other people that go to college, so we don't know where to find the resources. So I myself would like to see a Lioness Center as a resource on campus. I would like to move on to candidate Joseph. You said you were running for president. What is your goal and vision for ASI for this upcoming school year?
So I really just want to see ASI have a little bit more money in our budget. The more money that we have, the more things we can do for our students. So that's really one of my biggest goals and visions for ASI, is to have more money.
Do you have any new ideas or plans that you would like to implement within ASI, and how do you plan on executing them?
So far, I don't really have any new ideas. I really just want to continue the work that our current board has already put in. Our current board is working on a lot right now, I believe, and so I just want to really continue that work. And if I do see some things that I would like to bring up throughout the semester, then I definitely will.
Thank you. Next candidate. Hi, so how familiar are you with the position of Director of Student Services, and what are some services that you would like to provide for our campus?
So for the position of Director of Services, they do gather data. So we do a lot of surveys. Recently, the current DSS did a survey based on the food insecurity, so CalFresh. So with that data, I do want to implement different meal plans with housing around campus. I do want to also implement different events, cross-cultural events, as well as different workshops to bring awareness to different representation, different issues on campus, and also work closely with the resource centers, and also be able to bring more resource centers on campus. As you mentioned, we are, I would like to also have a Latinx resource center, as well as an Asian American and Pacific Islander resource center as well. And also, currently work closely with the resources on campus. I know that the Career Resource Center right now is struggled to get its own place, and also, kind of like host different events with them together, have like more university events, because I believe student involvement is something that we should be working on right now. I feel like we have 15.6 thousand students on campus, and the number of students on campus aren't really getting involved, and that's something that I do really want to work with, and I feel like one way to get these students involved is through events. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be back to ask you a question.
Okay, audience, I just want to remind you that if you have a question that you would like to ask the candidates, you can ask them, or if you want to keep your questions confidential, you can write them on this piece of paper. So we do have one question for the panelists. And the question is, what other big scale events would you like to see on campus? So whoever wants to answer can go ahead. Dalen?
So for one thing, I think that I wouldn't bring any newer big scale events onto campus. I would just really add more to the events that we're having now. So I would do more to spring fling, add more of an experience to that. I would do more with our Halloween haunt and add more of an experience with that. I really don't I think that the events that we are putting on for students are really great right now. Not only just ASI, but just events in general on campus. All the events that we're doing are pretty great, but I think they could all just use a little bit more rather than something new.
Any other candidates? Rahab?
I really like what Dalen just said about, adding more to the experiences that we currently have. But if I had an opportunity, if the budget, allowed for us to have another big scale event, I would love to see kind of like a clubs and orgs Olympics or something where, we can do competitions between clubs and orgs or different people on campus, student workers. And it's kind of a cool way for us to have school spirit, to just get involved in something and something where we all come together. The financial cost doesn't have to go to, just financial aid, ASI. It wouldn't just have to go to us. We can get, funding from those other clubs or different departments as well. So I feel like that would be like a really cool event if, the budget allowed for us to put that on.
Any other? Okay.
Yeah, I was actually just wondering what unique aspects do you guys bring to the position you guys are applying for?
So like I said earlier, ASI hasn't had a female president in about 10 years now. And so that's something that I'm bringing, a whole different type of point of view, a whole different type of decision making that we haven't had in about 10 years now.
I would say being involved in a organization on campus, in a club, I see, the funding aspect of it, sometimes we do have issues with that. And I feel like coming from the perspective of vice president, that gives me a unique perspective in making sure, this is going to fund, the entire student body, but this can also help, our clubs and orgs as well.
As a student leader, I do work on campus and also I'm the president of a club. I know I have experience of organizing and hosting these events, but also do want to be the voice to encourage you students to become more involved on campus.
As a freshman, even though I might have freshman eyes, I might not be as knowledgeable as the rest, but I'm here to bring new eyes to what else we could bring. I might not know what for sure, and I'll be studying over this campaign of what we're gonna bring, but I know for sure that I'll bring fresh eyes. Thank you.
Can you repeat your question?
What unique aspect do you bring to the position you're applying for?
So as I stated before, I'm a social person, and I think that's one of the main things that a college rep should be, because we should be able to come out and be able to talk to people. That way people can talk back to us and just be free about whatever is going on, whatever they think should be addressed, and whatever they think we should fix, we should talk about with people up in higher positions like presidents or deans of colleges. Thank you.
Okay, so we have another question, and that question is: how would you represent clubs and orgs as an ASI official? Dalen?
So I'm a part of an org. I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So I know what clubs and orgs go through because I go through it. I'm, the same typical org member or club member like you guys are. But the question was, how am I going to represent it with ASI?
It says, how would you represent clubs and orgs as an official ASI official?
Yeah. So with that in mind. We do have finance commission where we decide how much money orgs get through budget call and just through budgeting throughout the year for our next academic year budget. So with that, whenever we do create funding reallocations and all of that, I always try to think in the mind of a Zeta, of my organization. Would I, as an organization member, like how much money is being put towards this? Would I like how much money is being spent in this area? Whenever I am in our finance commission, I really just sit in the mind of an organization representative rather than an ASI representative. If that makes sense.
I would say just being transparent about what's going on in our budgets. I also sit on finance commission, so I do see the size of what's going on, how much money is being spent on what aspect, and also being transparent with clubs and orgs, but also knowing that all the money can't go to clubs and orgs. We do have to be mindful of 15,000 students that we represent. So just being transparent with people in organizations and letting them know what ASI has to offer, and also, encouraging them to come to Finance Commission so they can see for themselves with their own eyes,
So as a college representative, I don't see to what extent I would be doing that, but I do assist like orgs commission meetings, and I feel that by attending those, I can hear some of the problems that are happening within our clubs and orgs here on campus, and I can possibly address those in other meetings that I have with ASI. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi guys, my name is Suzanne Jarquin, and I'm a student here on campus in my senior year. You had mentioned looking further into why the attendance rate for African Americans have dropped. You said from 30 to 11%? Okay, I'm proud of myself for getting that right. I'm so bad with numbers. What sort of steps or ideas do you have to kind of implement that further? I realize that would be like it's a big goal to have. So I was just wondering if you have thought about the process in which you would achieve that to pull in more attendance within that community.
So one, it would start with our recruitment. I don't think we're doing enough community-based recruitment within the Watts area, Compton, Inglewood, South Bay. I don't think we're doing enough recruiting into local high schools in that area. So I think that would be the first start, is start recruiting in our own neighborhoods. I think secondly, it would, the problem is with recruiting in those areas is that it's a lot of inner city schools, and inner city schools don't prepare their children for college. So I think that if we were out there recruiting earlier, it would start preparing high school students for college. So there's that one aspect. The second aspect is to increase our Divine Nine membership on our campus. Divine Nine is our historically Black sororities and fraternities. A lot of African American students go where they are. So wherever they see those orgs at, that's where they go. Unfortunately, right now we only have about 3 out of the 9 active on this campus. And so I think that, well, actually, just to start off with, we only have about 4 of us on campus. Out of the 4, 2 or 3 are active. So actually getting and implementing all 9 of the orgs on campus, and then also making sure that they're active would also help a lot. And I think I'd have to say, just to make this answer a little shorter, but lastly, I would say is advisors who look like us, advisors, African American advisors, African American educators, just having a university that is diverse, as a university administration that is as diverse as our population.
Thank you.
Okay, we have another question. So raising the ASI budget would mean raising the student fee. Is that what the presidential candidate is proposing?
So the very last thing that I would want to do is raise our ASI fee, but if that's what it means to get more resources for the students, that's something that I do believe in. Sometimes you do have to pay in a little more to things to get more out of it. With our current fee, we haven't raised our fee in about more than 10 years actually. We've had this $135 fee for a very long time now. It's not keeping up with the cost of living. We have the lowest ASI fee in the CSU system, so compared to all of our other sister campuses, this is the cheapest fee, and I think that we could raise it just a little bit.
Okay, other candidates, do you guys have any opinions on the ASI budget?
I'd say I definitely agree with that. Our fee has been stagnant and it has not kept up with the cost of living and the resources that we want to provide on campus. I know in closing orgs there was a discussion about seed money and like comparing us to other, different Cal states, but those fees have probably increased and ours has stayed the same. And, our budget doesn't allow for us to do as much as we would like because our fee has been so low. And I feel like it is important to see, if we can raise the fee, but also trying to see if we can fundraise or get other sources of income other than the student fee.
Okay, Selena?
Hi. So keeping the topic of the budget, you are running for Vice President of Finance, which has to do a lot with the budget, and basically we are funded through student dollars. How are you make sure that students see that they're getting, that their student dollars are at work?
I feel like something that we can do is just more implementing of the resource that we funded is making sure that our logo is on there. We fund a lot of different events and things, and sometimes, you don't see the ASI logo on there, so they're just thinking, oh, it was this club or this department. And I feel like if we implement that, strongly, that's one way people will see. I say also just encouraging people to come. I know a lot of people just don't really think about ASI or what we do besides, Toro Tuesday or free Scantrons. And I feel like definitely tabling, going to community outreach, encouraging people to see the value and where this money is going and making sure they're aware that, it's spending in this way. If you don't like that, come to this commission, talk to us, let us know. So, yeah.
Okay, candidates, that is it for the questions. I am now giving this opportunity for you guys to make any closing remarks you have, or doing your closing platforms. So I want each of you to do one. So Cindy, we'll start with you. Any closing remarks or comments you have, or a platform?
So to end this, for myself, I will be posting out flyers with my contact information. If you guys do have more questions, if you guys just want to talk to me, get to know me, it will be on there. So please look out for those. Thank you. So I think that I am very qualified for this position, and I have a unique perspective, and I want students to be able to see my face and know that I'm doing the best that I can and that I have their best interests at heart. And I'm not in this for malicious gain or anything like that. I'm here to be your voice, I'm here to be your advocate, and I want ASI to be the best ASI that it can be.
Hi everyone. As your Director of Student Services, I do have experience as a student leader and as a student, involved in many things on campus. I will work hard to represent you and to bring more awareness to the different issues that are on campus and to create more representation and more resources on campus.
So what I'll end with is that my opposing candidate, he's pretty much just as qualified as me, just as good as me, but what makes me different is just the change within the past 10 years of not having a female president. Adding that new blood, adding that new approach will be a really big game changer for ASI. So I'll conclude with my name is Daylin Joseph, and I'm running for president.
Okay, so I want to end with this, that no matter if you pick me or Itzel, I know, I'm gonna bring fresh eyes, even though Itzel is a really well candidate. And everyone will say it's better that if we pick her. But even this, I'm just gonna give you this. I'm gonna be trying and I'm gonna study ASI from no matter what, from today, and make it harder for Itzel to win. That's what my game plan is. Thank you.
So I would like to thank all the ASI representatives and the students in the audience for coming out and supporting this event. With that being said, I would like to remind you guys of some upcoming ASI events. We will have our coffee break tabling today happening from 4:30 to 6:30 on the East Walkway, and it will be moved to the ASI office if it rains. And then we will have our commuter outreach at the bus stop March 7th from 5 to 6 p.m. this Thursday. Candidates, I encourage you, if you want to get yourself out there and have students see your faces and know what you're about, I recommend you come out to the commuter outreach. And then we will have our candidate debate in Housing Building A from March 12th, 3 to 4 p.m., which is next Tuesday. We will have another candidate forum on the East Walkway, same location, March 13th, 1 to 2 p.m., next Wednesday. And we will have our candidate mixer at the DH Sports Lounge, March 18th, from 4 to 6 p.m. And this also is the first day of voting. And voting will take place March 18th through the 21st. And also just remind you that if you guys want to fill out a survey for ASI or get some merch, please head over to our table over here. And that is it for this event. Thank you guys so much for coming out.